everyone, welcome. We are here doing an AutoRekt tournament. Today we're doing it with the Ohio Nation Discord group. So those friends over in America, they've invited me, actually Jimmy Corn, who features prominently on my Twitch channel. So check him out on his Twitch channel too. He invited us to come along and yeah, join in this AutoRekt tournament. So I was like, yeah, sounds cool, got some time. And it turned out, according to Sylph anyway, I was the highest ranked person, but doesn't really matter in AutoRekt, right? So, cool, yeah, we're just going to jump straight into this battle. So, we stupidly switched into our Flappy Fish here against this Mamoswine. Would have been better to take the Relicanth. I think it's Relicanth that I have. Just don't get to the Mud Bomb there, yeah. Relicanth would have been a nicer option. Obviously, if you had Bulldoze, well, it's just as bad again. It's just as bad against Flappy Fish. So, yeah, ended up, I guess, being okay. They didn't switch out. I'm not. I guess they would have switched into Azu if we had have switched into Relicanth. So, anyway, it is what it is. So we're going for boosts here on the Relicanth, and we had getting no love, none whatsoever. So, take that Hydro Pump, and we're gone. So we're relying on Altaria, even shields, to take out the Azu. Now I think this is potentially where a mistake may have been made. Actually, it ends up being pretty close to even. But yeah, because we had the shield there to block that Ice Beam, and we just it must have been so close. We just beat Needy Speedy to that to take our first match. So yeah, we're fighting against Needy Speedy, who was the host. I'm not sure. Oh, sorry, Need for Speedy. I apologize. I'm not sure if they're the one of the managers or whatever of the Iron Nation group. But yeah, it's cool. So we get an absolutely phenomenal lead. Obviously, it would have been terrible if this Mawile had had Fire Fang, but with Bite, Breloom's counters, even though they're neutral, they're gonna do mass damage. So even shields, we take it out, and we have the ability to get to another Grass Knot. We didn't even see what it was, and it was Bastiodon. And so 2 counters. See how much damage those 2 counters did. So that's massive. Bastiodon's going to take a while to get to any charged move. So he probably landed about 3 or 4 what is it, Smackdowns on our Breloom and Lanoon. Oh no, 3 or 4 extra just on the Breloom. So we do go hard at that farm down, which is awesome because it means we've got heaps of energy here. So we either do a lot of damage or take out the Probo. And we decided early that we were not getting to another dig. So just to get the Grass Knot and switch out. This Grass Knot? Yeah, doesn't really matter. And so Nidoqueen can survive a Magnet Bomb, just has to get to this Earthquake, and Need for Speedy is taken out in round 1. Now we play out the 3rd matchup, and so we've got an interesting team here. I was like, oh, Raichu, that's not too bad, you know, it should be okay. And oh, oof, so we get hard countered here. So we switch into Probo, and Jolteon's staying in, which I was quite surprised at. Then I'm like, oh, does this mean this Jolteon only is a single move? I was like, this is a single move Jolteon. Poor dude only has Last Resort. So we're not worried about anything. We're not going to shield. And yeah, another Last Resort. So confirmed, can confirm, only Last Resorts. Now we probably should have thrown the Rock Throw here, but gets shield anyway. So Rock Slide. Then Ampharos comes back in. Now, an interesting switch into what's this called? What's this single Mantine, you might say? But I literally did it just to get the Bubble Beam off. Just one Bubble Beam was all we were chasing. And then I realized, oh man, this is a Charmchu. We don't have a Raichu. We have a Charmchu here with Skull Bash. So there is no way we're getting to a Skull Bash at all. So we take one Psyshock, we switch out and we catch another Psyshock. So we're like, man, we are nailing this. We shield once more, and then we get the Skull Bash. but we get a double KO. So actually would have been better off just shielding and then going. Actually no, because he would have had another side shock. So we have to go to a 4th round to play off. And I'm pretty confident we get destroyed here. So I was quite surprised at that switch. And now we, thinking about it in retrospect, might have been better off double shielding this Nidoqueen. I'm pretty sure we only single shield here, and just decide to let it go. May have been okay to double shield and then get to a second Earthquake. I mean, not Earthquake, Earth Power, and see what happens. But we do get to a Hyper Fang, so I'm not sure if Azu was overcharging, but I guess it only has Hydro Pump and Ice Beam, so there's not much it can do. We're not in the greatest of positions here. Over tap there, don't get the Surf off. Earth Power, we have to land an Earth Power and get a debuff to have any hope, and we get nothing. We get nothing. And out comes Wigglytuff, and I was like, alright, this is GG, we should have let it go, but so after our 2-1 and now it's a 1 loss, so that's done by Needy Speedy. So our next opponent is Matthew 57, is it? 557, so no, 577, and we get a awful lead. I mean, it's not that bad, I guess, but I mean, if we get hit by a Bulldoze, this is GG, right? So I'm like, oh, I'd just throw it. If it was me, I'd just throw it, and we'd block a side shot. So we're like, okay, Bulldoze now. And we're like, oh, what? Have we just double shielded a stinking Drapion? And now we come, the Side Shock will actually kill us, so oof. We bring out Blastoise and the switch into Ferrothorn. Now this is just farm city for our Toxie, which means even if they bring Bronzong back in, we're just throwing a Mud Bomb, and hopefully we get that before a Confusion damage kills us. So the Confusion goes off, but the damage doesn't come through because Charge Move damage comes through first now, right? It's crazy. So Bronzong's out of the way. They've got a Mew in the back, which is going to finish off our Toxicroak. But Blastoise, the thick chunky guy he is there. Look at those sunnies. How cool it is, Blastoise. Not that cool, but I like this Blastoise. And we went with the Hydro Cannon. So round 1 to us. We're going on to round 2 now, and we've got a Vigoroth, a Ludicolo. Now this Ludicolo has Razor Leaf and Hydro Pump only, and a Quag in the back. So Quag in the back's quite nice. Quag's quite a nice finisher, especially with shields. So like, okay, we've got to get some shields down, and then we should be alright. Now we've got Scolipede here. If we get baited, we lose, but they're throwing the Sludge Bomb. So we're just going to keep throwing Body Slams. Go up to the Bulldoze, but throw Body Slam. Go up to the Bulldoze, throw Body Slam. That's kind of what we were doing here to hope we could get rid of the shields. And we did get rid of the shields. And our Scolipede actually has surprisingly high amount of health left. So I thought, oh man, it'd be cool if we could just Body Slam to KO. But I'm like, nah. We're gonna have to go for the Bulldoze just to make sure of it. And then Kingdra comes out and instantly deletes us. So we're like, oof. So Ludicolo is dead. If this is an outrage, and it is. So we have Quagsire left, and they switch out of Quag, which is really interesting because Quag wouldn't have done as well with the fast move damage. So we can take a Hydro Cannon though, and notice it's a Metal Claw and Polion. If that was a Waterfall and Polion, it was over. So we overfarmed a little bit, through the Earthquake, and we beat it to the Stone Edge. Quag, GG, it's over. We are all over it. So that's round 2. Round 2 of round 2. So the second match of round 2. So third match coming up now, and we get a not ideal lead here, right? So we switch to the Lappy just to waste that energy, which is a nice switch, I'm just going to say. One up myself there. To eat the Hydro Cannon. And we're just going to throw Surfs. Almost dead. this is probably an earthquake. We decided, look, let's keep those shields there. So, oof, double KO. Would have been nice. Probably would have been a good idea to shield that and have the Lapras on high health. And yeah, out comes Kingdra. I mean, so Lapras would have been nice. He's a thick boy. So we're just going to go to town with these power up punches. Really, we got 2 shields here. So we can shield 1, continue these counters, possibly get to another power up punch. And this should be pretty close to KOing the Kingdra actually. And it does. And 2, 3, 4, 5. We almost get that poor Steelix. There's nothing that Steelix did wrong. He was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Oh, I'm a big Steelix fan. He didn't deserve the double fighter treatment, but that's what he got. Alright, so now we're into round 3 against Dundidum. So this is a 4-round tournament. Dundidum, another Pogo Twitch streamer. Obviously, either involved in the Ohio group or that's just where he is. And alright, this is what we get. This is not ideal. A little bit of lag, but it seems pretty mutual. Our counters are going to do a lot. But we're a bit slower than the charge rate. So, we switch into Lanoon here. Debatable, right? And then no shield. And it's an overheat. Oof. So we have to throw Grass Knot to have any chance of resurrecting this match. And we do get a... Excuse me, sorry. We do get a shield. So, we're going to come in with our Heracross, knowing that Heracross isn't going to do too well against Poliwrath. But he is going to be pretty nice. So it's going to leave our Spirit Tomb against a full Poliwrath, something else, and half a health Ninetales. Now we correctly call that just as a Psyshock, so we farm up a little bit of extra something, you know, and land the Ominous Wind to KO. So we've got 2 shields here. Poliwrath coming back in. Poliwrath's not going to do a whole lot. Obviously, we still can't take too many hits. So they switch into a Xatu just as we throw a Shadow Ball. Insta deletes the Xatu, and then we got another Shadow Ball to finish off Poliwrath. So Spirit Tomb putting in some serious work there. The substitute Sableye, I guess he is. Alright, now we're into the last match against Dundidum, and we get a pretty shocking matchup. But I'm like, oh look, I'm going to stay in. We don't want to lose switch advantage, so Dusclops into Probo. Yep, so there we go. Oof, those rocks. Dusclops is a thick boy, but you can see how much damage he really is taking from those rock slides. So we're hoping to get this Shadow Punch and then maybe, just maybe, beat it to another one, which we do. So we're like, come on, just got to chip away, just get a little chip damage on there. Now obviously this Probo has heaps of energy. We have a Metal Claw Trappy Fish. And I was like, sweet, let's switch. And it's not an Ice Beam Lapras, sorry, it's an Ice Beam, but not a Ice Shard Lapras. So we had a Water Gun Lapras, which is no good. So now we've got Trappy Fish, who has Metal Claw and Muddy Water to take out a Razor Leaf Torterra. Oh my gosh. And with and Probo and something else with just Muddy Water, right? And Heracross. Okay, so obviously, like, Trappy Fish is no Flappy Fish, but even in that situation it was over. Like, well and truly over. So we go to the third matchup against Dundidum, and we get a really nice lead, right? This is one for the ages. So we're just gonna have to Mud Bomb the crap out of this Haunter. Now we do get baited here, I believe. It's not a Shadow Ball, it's just a Shadow Punch. And then we switch into a Blaziken. We're debating the switch. We've debated, and then we're going to catch this Blaze Kick. Confusion down. But we shield, interesting. We shield, yeah, that's right, because we don't want to waste the energy. So we're going to shield, Confusion down, throw an Earth Power, and it's another Blaziken. Double Blaziken. and a Haunter against 3 ground Pokemon. Like, it's just so not fair. And I played this a bit odd here. I probably... Oh, no, the counter damage is going to do a lot to Rhyhorn. I could have just gone for the Mud Bomb there, and we would have been fine. Or soaked up the energy, let it die, and then Mud Bomb down this Haunter. But that's alright. That's alright, because we got the energy here, and we're just going to finish off Haunter with another Mud Bomb. So, done did 'em. Well played. I almost lost that one, because... Actually, I didn't do anything wrong. You just played it really, really well. So, we're into the the ultimate round now. So, final round against Jimmy Corn. So, the gentleman who invited me along to this tournament, the Spice King himself, Jim Corn. And we get a not so great lead. So, Shadow Claws are going to do a lot. And a really nice time swap there, so he doesn't have to waste his shield into the Xatu. But so this is interesting. This is such an odd matchup now. So we take super effective damage from his fast move, but we are going to do big damage with our charge moves, right? So he committed to the farm, but he's lost both his shields. So we throw Gallade out as essentially like a sacrificial lamb, and we just got to farm up with this Ivysaur. We know Power Whip's going to do a heck of a lot of damage to everything else in, well, I can't really say everything else, but the Lanoon anyway. So this, as long as that wasn't a Bulldoze, it wasn't going to do, or Dig, sorry, Lanoon has Dig. We weren't going to take too much damage, so the Power Whip takes it out, and then we've got Bennett, and I'm like, oh, how much damage does Power Whip do? Do we need to go the second one? And oh, it's just brutal, that Power Whip. It really almost is like a frenzy plant sometimes. It's crazy. Now, downside, right? Downside here. Obviously, this is a terrible matchup, but our Vaporeon, much like the Jolteon we versed earlier, is a single moved, last resort only. So, in a way, we're always glad he's dead. You're never glad a Pokemon's dead, but it's not ideal. Not ideal whatsoever. So this Sceptile is absolutely just going to town on us, and we decide, instead of wasting another shield, Jimmy Corn is going to hold on to that one pretty tight. So it's going to be a Dragon Claw. We can soak one Dragon Claw, and we're actually going to get Fire Spinned down. So we both double switch into Alolan Raichu versus counter Alakazam. So, oof, that Fire Punch, right? We don't want to debuff ourselves. Hey, let's it go. Very interesting. Now we... Ooh! I was going to say we overcharge, but we actually KO. So weak is Charizard and so buffed that his Volt Switch. So, and because we had that other Pokemon in the back, I can't remember what it is, I mean, we won. Now, Pelipper. Poor little Pelipper. He's just not built for this sort of damage, right? So we are going to town on this little Pelipper. We're going to let this come through. Thinking it's water, we'll just let it go. But it's a Hurricane, and it does some big damage. But Ampharos, oof, Ampharos does some heavy hits. He switches out. Diglett, we switch to Gallade, who's not really great at taking damage, but man, those confusions, sorry, dealing some big damage, and we're up to a Psychic, so whatever comes out is going to cop a Psychic. Oh no, it's just a Pelipper. Ooh, we should have thrown the Psychic. And what's in the back? Swampert. So we're at the Focus Blast, so it's a 50-50. We throw in shields, and we land the Focus Blast for the win. So we go 4-0. Thanks heaps to all of the Ohio Nation people for inviting me along to the tournament. I had a great time, and I really recommend, if you guys haven't done an AutoRekt tournament before, give it a go. It's a lot of fun. Thanks very much. See you later. Bye.